Welcome to From the King's Pen. I'm Artur Diaz, and I'm here to share with you a dose of learning, writing, speaking, and trying to live a little bit better day by day. A few people reached out to me after the last video and told me that I had motivated them to take action. It's awesome that I was able to inspire you, and I'm so happy about it. But I do have to warn you about something. Motivation sucks. And before you yell at me and tell me, why did you do a motivational video, Dan? Let me explain, alright? I know that you might be thinking, it sounds insane to say that motivation is a bad thing, right? After all, isn't it what will get you doing things, what you get you out there, trying it out? And to give an answer that is very common for a translator, it depends. Motivation is great for starting something out. It's awesome. You see something you like, you see an interesting idea, read something on the internet that connects to you, you watch a YouTube video like mine and feel like, okay, I have to take action. That's great. It breaks the pattern of not doing anything, of sitting down and just watching Netflix all day. And don't get me wrong, that is awesome. That's great if it's getting you to do that. The problem is, motivation alone will not cut it. Let's take going to the gym as an example, okay? You started out, you feel great, you're doing something, you're working on your health, you're getting your body moving, you're feeling more energetic. Awesome. You get that initial motivation, that enthusiasm, that excitement. Good. That's a great start. However, what are you going to do the day that you're feeling unmotivated? How is motivation going to help you then? Let's say it's rainy, feels cold, you don't want to go out, it's late, you've worked all day, you're tired, you just don't want to, and you see how easy it is to just pile on excuse after excuse not to go to the gym? What are you going to do then? How are you going to push through those excuses? That's the question. Think of motivation as the first stage in a multi-stage rocket, okay? The first stage of the rocket, the motivation is going to launch you off. You're going to get liftoff. But if you don't have a second stage, a third stage, you're going to lose the momentum, you're going to lose that movement, and you're either going to get stuck, or worse, you're going to drift off or fall crashing backwards. So there's that. There's another trap with motivation, which is called shiny object syndrome. Very common among entrepreneurs and people who want to start businesses. But just for any activity, it can be very dangerous. What does it look like? Let me give you an example. You see a video on YouTube with a great workout that looks simple and effective. You start doing it. But then you read an article that someone posted on Facebook saying, no, walking is where it's really at to lose weight. Walk for, an hour and a half a day and you will lose all your weight. Oh, but then you see a video on Instagram about Mongolian throat singing. God, it's so fascinating. I want to try that. But then someone sends you an article about penguin training or penguin coaching. You decide, wow, maybe that's my true calling. Maybe that's the hobby I want. See what happens? You go from thing to thing to thing, and you don't stick to anything. Motivation is fickle. It will wane off, and it will attach itself to the next fad, to the next interesting thing you see. What's the biggest issue with that? You can't get past the sucking stage. And remember what I said in the last video? Sucking is okay at first. The idea is that you're going to get better, right? You're not going to stay in the sucking stage. You're not going to suck forever. That's your start, not your destination. All right, so how do we avoid these traps laid out by motivation? Well, first, you're going to need to have focus. You have to decide on what you want to work on, one thing at a time, okay? Doesn't matter what, doesn't matter why you pick it. I don't care. Up to you. You're alive. You do you. Okay? But you have to pick something. Choose what you want to work on. Let's say you want to go to the gym and work on your strength. Great. Do that, but commit to it. Decide a length of time, a minimum length of time you're going to try it out for. I'd suggest 3 to 6 months. That will give you enough time to figure out what it works, what doesn't, get a little better, feel more comfortable doing it, and enough time for you to see some results in pretty much any skill you want to learn, anything you want to try. 3 to 6 months will give you a good idea, will give you the possibility of moving from beginner to intermediate if you really apply yourself to it. So that's one of the traps, the shiny object syndrome. That's how you avoid that. You focus. How do you escape not feeling motivated or pushing through when you're not motivated? Create a system. Build a habit. How do you do that? Make it so that it's part of your routine. Something that is easy for you to do and a little bit harder for you to avoid. Going back to the example of the gym. To me, if I was going on an interpretation event that was going to be all day long, it was going to be tiring and everything, and I couldn't go to the gym in the morning, what would I do? I'd get my gym bag, take it with me to the event, so that on the way back I'd stop at the gym. Because I knew that if I came home and I sat down, I would find a million excuses not to go to the gym. So eliminate chances for excuses. Eliminate areas that might trip you up. If you know something is going to cause you an issue, try to eliminate that. Try to avoid it. Find your way around it. Another example, when I was studying interpreting, for example, I would, as soon as I get home, I would have this routine. I'd get home, take my dogs for a walk, come back, sit down and practice interpretation for 45 minutes to an hour. Every day, no excuses. Why? Because I created a routine and I wouldn't deviate from it. I wouldn't go have dinner. I wouldn't do anything. I would get home from work, walk the dogs, practice. Always. James Clear, on his book Atomic Habits, he recommends exactly this way to create systems. He also points out, start with small, easy habits. Don't start with the big thing. Don't start with the big goal at once. Work your way up to it. Make it easy enough that it will be very difficult for you to find an excuse not to do it. You want to start exercising? Start with a 5-minute walk. You want to start playing the guitar? Start practicing the chords 10 minutes every day. Read 5 pages of a book every day. Write 300 words every day if you want to write better. Start with a small goal, but repeatable, and make sure you stick to it. That way it becomes a part of you you are. You identify with it. Once you see yourself not as someone who's trying to go to the gym, but someone who goes to the gym, not as someone who tries to write every day, but a writer, that will change it. That will make you identify with it. That will activate your consistency bias, and that will make you commit even more. So those are the tips. Focus on what you want to do, commit to it, and be consistent. You will see results. Trust the process. It might be slow, it might be hard, but remember, you just have to get a little bit better day by day. These little gains are going to compound. They're going to accumulate and you're going to start getting better and better. Things are going to get a little bit easier day by day. So, tell me in the comments, what new habit are you looking to start out? Are you going to focus on it? Let me know. So, this is it for today. If this video inspired you, taught you something, or you just found it interesting, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and I see you next time with more doses of insights from the King's Pen.
Sitting in the highest tower on a castle made of sand, watching the pieces all fall down. I don't own a throne, no, I don't even own a crown. I just sit and I watch it all fall down. Sitting here, it gives me the time to take the time and I'll make the time to pick the pieces from my mind.